Welcome back, tribe. I have one here from Spinks for Integrity. He's only got 18,000 subs. Only. But he got a damn near million view video 5 months ago. Let's get into it. He says, careful who you allow in your house. So he's about to drop some wisdom.
Who actually, unfortunately, dealt with this type of nonsense behavior before. So therefore, I'm going to title this. All right, what's up, family? I got a more serious one for a lot of mature people who actually, unfortunately, dealt with this type of nonsense behavior before. So therefore, I'm going to title this one here, Careful Who You Allow in Your House. So think about what I'm saying. Even when we was kids, remember there was times when our parents left us alone, when our parents, before leaving the house, they would say threatening things to us, such like this here. They go, don't you let nobody in this damn house when I'm gone. You hear what I'm telling you? You better not let nobody in this house. And as kids, we'd be like, yo, man, why you talking to us like that? Let me tell you why. Because our parents, they had enough life learned lessons and maturity to understand that sometimes people have really ugly intentions.
But babe, I have a question. How you came up with this topic all of a sudden? And then on top of that, are you actually speaking literally or figuratively when you say coming in your house?
See, I'm glad you asked that. Know why? Because
when
you say, am I saying literally or figuratively? I'm meaning both. I'm meaning be careful of allowing someone into, yes, your structure, where you live, your house, your apartment, your condo. Be careful because people will come into your house and try to assess what you got, checking out how you live in, how you get this, what you got that. They literally your house. I also mean figuratively, meaning your presence, your circle, your mind, trying to see how you think, your business. See, they want to be in your business. And when they get in your business, that's when they're there to do nothing but be a Judas. Matter of fact, that could be the word of the day, Judas. We know how the word Judas refers to like a traitor. Remember how Judas, they said Judas, he betrayed Jesus by a simple kiss, letting the Romans know this is the guy you're looking for, because they didn't know who was Jesus. So he said, I'll kiss him for simple pieces of shillings of silver. So that's why they use the word Judas referring to a traitor, because he betrayed Jesus by a simple kiss. And that's how Jesus got killed, whatever. But yeah, when people get in your business, so when I say your house, I mean literally and figuratively, meaning your business, your presence, literally your house. People will come in your place all because you're being nice and destroy everything you got. Watch this. All right, watch this. I'm gonna give you a couple of stories, but let's start off with this one here. I don't know if a lot of y'all heard this story a long time ago. The story was told like this here. It was this black guy who was a highly respected supervisor manager at this job. And while he was a highly respectable manager at this job for many years doing a great job, this new European guy got hired at the job. And when the European guy got hired at the job, he was so concerned about how did that black guy get that position of authority? How long he been here? And before you know it, he started trying to be in the black guy's business, trying to befriend him. Remember what I told you, title of the video, careful who you let in your house, meaning your business, your structure, in your presence. But anyway, this European guy tried to befriend the guy. He said, hey, man, yeah, this job here, I want to work alongside you. You know, the guy give him this to do or that to do. But then on another day, he's trying to be overly friendly with this, always trying to chat with the guy, and then saying stuff to the guy, such stuff like this. Hey, man, I noticed, man, you run this whole operation here, man. I noticed everybody got a great deal of respect for you, man, here. This is a wonderful thing, man. How long you been working here? The guy's like, yeah, man, well, I've been here about 19, 20 years, man. You know, of course they respect me because we got productivity get done out and we make sure we do a good job at it. He's like, oh, man, this is wonderful. And then next you know, the guy like, hey, man, is that your Mercedes you got outside there? That's the such and such model, right? He said, oh, man, how long you had that car? All in the guy business. Remember what I told you? Careful who you allow in your house.
Nosy.
Yeah.
Too nosy.
A Judas.
Yeah.
Watch how this play out. So then the guy, you know, I asked him all about his car. Then he says to him, people will play play a sucker to try to catch a sucker, so to speak. Try to play a fool, you know.
Uh-huh.
Then the guy asks him, he throws himself out there and say stuff like this. Oh, man, it'd be taking me about 45 minutes to get to work every day, man. How long, asking that same guy, how long you live from the job, man? Do you live far, man? Because it'd be taking me about 45 minutes, man. It take me almost an hour sometimes. And the guy's like, man, I live about 25 minutes, half hour from here, not too far. And he said, well, yeah, you do? Where about you live at? And the guy tells him where he live. He go, wow, that's a nice neighborhood where you live. Hey, man, why don't you invite me over for dinner one day, man?
What?
And he asks to be invited over again and again and again, to the point he's damn near begging.
I mean, I had this happen when I was working retail, and, you know, not necessarily to the point of like this extreme, but you had guys that were in each other's business, because somebody would show up with, like, one guy had an Infinity, God, what was that? The Nissan version of the 350Z. I forgot even what the hell that thing was. The Infinity, I don't know. I forgot what it was. Someone remind me. They were all pieces of shit. It didn't matter. It was a coupe, 2-door coupe. It was Nissan's version in the Infinity line of the 350Z. He had gotten it all brand new. It was looking fucking nice. And people, he was, what was he? He was an assistant manager or some shit like that. And people were all up his ass, dude. All the guys like, what is so sick? How'd you get that? You know, start asking him just crazy shit. Like, how much that thing costed gas? And like, can I get a ride from my place? Can he pick you up in that? And like going out there and just getting all up in his business, because he showed up in a, you know, semi-decent car, and dude's only an assistant manager. It's pretty young cat. And the snakes, dude, trying to get some shit out of you. And then always the realness came out. Like, once they were brown nosing a bit, they wanted more hours, better shifts, you know, shit like that, time off. They would start asking for it, expect, because they were just brown nosing this dude's ass. Started off with his car, but, you know, people did that to all sorts of upper management when they need something. So this is not, so like his story might be specific to this, whatever he's telling, but I've always noticed this difference between, you know, the regular people that are working, struggling, and then you got the upper management, obviously that's been there for either a while or just got hired, but they have some high credentials, experience in the workforce, and the brown nosing and the politicking, ass kissing, and all this shit, the favor building to try to get ahead of everybody else. But it's almost always from a snake. Almost nobody with genuine intentions behaves this way. Like, they'll give you a genuine compliment and move on with their day. They don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, cool, dude, nice car. That's a sick whip. You got that? At your age, good job, bro. You're crushing it. Moves on with their day. But somebody looking to get some shit out of you, just remember this in the workforce specifically too. This works in everything else, but workforce specific, if they're too friendly and always asking way too much, they got ulterior motives. Be careful. Like 99% of the time, there's, of course, you can't say every single time everybody has an ulterior motive, but almost always, bro, unless it's fucking Janet from that department there, and she's like 58 years old, does not give a fuck about you, is just making conversation because she's bored. And in that, it's her own, like, you know, ulterior motive that's harmless, because Janet's lonely and she wants to talk. So she's asking you a bunch of stupid questions about whatever's going on. But almost always, if somebody's pulling this kind of shit on you, they want something.
Eventually, what does the brother does? He eventually invites him over to the house. And when he invites him over to the house, next thing you know, the guys, remember the title of the video, careful who you allow in your house. When he invites him over to the house, as soon as he gets to his house, he's like, oh man, this is really nice over here where you live. When he gets in his house, he's like, oh wow, these are really nice couches you got, man. I know this is a such and such style, man. This costs a lot of money. Oh man, you got the finished basement, you got this. Oh, this is nice. Oh wow, you have a shrimp and lobster, man. You must be doing real good at the job. You must be really doing exceptionally well. And your wife drives a such and such type of car. Oh man, y'all got this in them. You got a pool in the back. He's assessing everything. Before you know it, that guy, the following week while they're at the job, he threw that brother up under the bus for some minuscule things that was brought up. How and why, who knows? But one thing for sure, next you know, that brother got demoted on his job. And that European guy got promoted. You see what I'm saying? All because that guy let him get too close to him, get too friendly. That's another way of putting it. Be careful who you allow in your house. Be careful who you allow to get close to you, because you have people out here that's nothing but like that European guy, like that Judas. He had no good intentions whatsoever, but to try.
I think I heard a similar story before, but the The emphasis on the race didn't matter. It's just the context of the character of the person. But okay. For him, the race matters in the story, I guess. Keep saying it, but it's just two dudes. One's a fucking snake, and the other one is too trusting and got fucked for it. Welcome to the world, dude.
Really just jealousy and envy to see what this guy got. And he's like, I'm going to do everything to destroy that. You see what I'm saying? Title of the video. Careful who you allow in your house. I actually had a buddy of mine. I ain't going to mention his name, but he knowing if he watched this video, he'll watch it eventually. And this exact thing happened to him when he got transferred on his job down to a whole nother state. Now, he been on his job like 15 years, but for the last 6 years, he was promoted to supervisor position. And for 6 years in a row, he was doing nothing but a great job. He got letters of recommendation. He got letters of accommodation from different clients. Different customers would call the job. They would call corporate. They was writing letters and emails saying what a great job he was doing. Guy was doing his job. He was on his A game, getting nothing but accommodations constantly. But what happened? Just like that last story I told you, a new management came in. When the new management came in, they didn't like how people liked him. It was like that saying when they go, I don't like that people like you. You know what I'm saying? So they become a Judas. And then when they pulled up his record.
But you should already know when new management rolls up anywhere, shit's about to get gutted and slashed and moved around. Like nobody is safe. Not even the highest. Actually, the highest performers typically are the ones that get slashed because they're in the upper band of the income range for their position. So they slash the best workers. That's why this is what they do, dude. There's aggressive takeovers of these companies is usually step one. Get rid of all the upper band earners and promote from within or bring in people separately and place them on like the lowest band of pay. So you have a guy that will come in to do your job and you were making 80,000, but they'll hire a newbie for 45,000 and they'll just try to train him up in some half-assed manner to do your job. They'll never be able to do your job because you got years of experience and you know the ins and outs and all the fucking quirks that requires that to be a successful position in the company to run well in whatever facet that you're managing. But all the fucking, financial eggheads, all they see is like, dude, he makes 80. We could just get somebody half trained up to do this job for 45. We're saving a ton of fucking money. Now repeat that over a couple thousand employees. And that's the new private yacht and the private jet for the fucking CEO. For management's going to pay out huge bonuses and the company is going to keep running like shit. Although it still runs like shit, and that's good enough. So if you're in a position where management is changing, all the influence building, all the goodwill, all the customer recommendations and commendations and all that shit, all of that goes out the window. You lose your protection within the company. You'll lose the managers that used to protect you, that you built relationships with, had each other's backs. You'll lose everything when new management comes in. So this story is not specific to what he's saying. This is in general. If you've been putting in years, and guys in the comment section will tell you, once new management rolled up, bro, everything changed. Any understandings and protections and shit like that, influence that they've had, networks and relationships went out the fucking window, bro, the moment new management rolled up.
They found out the neighborhood.
It's sad because you put in 20, 30, 40 fucking years for a company, you bust your ass. You fix all the bullshit that they have. You save them millions of dollars in efficiency, and you're rewarded with a swift kick in the ass, bro. That's what sucks about this new way of working with these new, corporate fucking stooges that they call companies and their rules and zero fucking accountability, zero reliability, zero loyalty. That's why you have to switch jobs every 2 years just to get a decent wage today. They don't give a fuck about anybody, man. It's sick.
Where he lived, they said, oh, he live in that neighborhood? And when I told my buddy this story or the last story, he thought he had told me his story, which he did not. He said, yo, man, that's exactly what happened to me. He said one day, what a coincidence. He said he was outside cutting the grass and he seen 4 company cars back to back to back to back ride down his street. And they all seen him cutting the grass. And he said the following week when he went to work, you know what they told him? Brought him in the office. They said they had to restructure everything at the job, and they noticed he didn't have a college degree. And they told him, in order to keep this position, you have to go to college or go and get your degree. We'll hold your position for you. But other than that, we're going to have to let you finish the year out the fiscal year out, but we're going to have to let you go unless you get a college degree. Of course he ain't going back to college or whatever. And see how they did him? They was the Judas. Remember Judas? It's another way of saying a traitor or a jealous, envious person doing nothing but I'm going to destroy everything you got. So be careful who you allow in your house. And I mean, like my wife asked earlier, do I mean literally or figuratively? I mean both. Your business, your presence, your house, your status, your ideals. People will do everything to destroy that. But you think that's something? Watch this. I'm going to give you a historical one. Christopher Columbus. Do you know the real story? He never landed in America. He landed on other islands and all that. But watch this. That's what really happened. They was shipwrecked. They was going through starvation, disease, and everything. And where they did land, the local people accepted them in their house, meaning their land. They nursed them back to health. They gave them clothes. They gave them medicine, made them back. Then they lavished them with their things of their land, like the things that they created, their weapons and stuff like that. They lavished them with diamonds, rubies, gems, gold. When they did all these lovely things for them and helped nurse them back, you know what Christopher Columbus did? True facts. In his mind, because you could pull up his memoirs where he actually said it in his diary, his memoirs. He actually said these things. He said, hey, why are these people so nice to us? Man, they're giving us all this lovely food. We was almost going to die. They brought us back to good health. Why is they so nice to us? And they giving us diamonds and rubies. They don't even seem to have a sense of value. You know what? We could go back home and get more ships and come back, and we can annihilate these people and take everything that they got. They're stupid.
What the fuck is he talking about, bro? Okay. Why are Americans getting so woke? I know the story is talking about he's trying to relay what happened with Thanksgiving and the turkeys and the Native Americans, but you forget about getting scalped and shit while you're out there by the water, by the river, getting some water and washing some clothes. There was no nation states, no borders. All the tribes were fighting constantly. They had a warrior culture. People forget this shit, like Comanches, for example, are one of the more famous ones, but you had a national pastime of scalping. Do you know what scalping is? Is where you take your fucking rusty ass rock blade spear and you cut off a piece of somebody's fucking scalp, bro, and you have that shit like flapping in the wind, wearing it and shit or whatever the fuck else they did with it. That's your trophy, scalping the dead warrior that you killed from the other tribe. Such savagery. It existed everywhere. We're trying to act like these people were fucking innocent, bro. We're like kumbaya and shit, and we're living with the buffaloes and Pocahontas while they're singing, and it was a great time. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It started good until it went to straight woke shit. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Anyways, it was tight until it wasn't. As far as the rest of the tenant goes in general, yeah. Mind your business. Watch people that try to get in yours. Don't trust anybody. People at work are always in constant competition with you. You're one step away from getting replaced. Management doesn't have your back, typically, especially if new management comes in. If your company got sold off, you're on the fucking chopping block. It's a matter of time. Try to start your own business. By business, I mean work for yourself, whatever that means. Whether it's consulting or a trade or a side hustle that you do, something to have a backup to save your ass while you're still going to work, because no company treats you with any fucking self-respect, with any respect in general anymore. And they're willing to put you on the chopping block if it means more money in their pocket for more cars, more boats, more airplanes. And that's the corporate fucking environment that we live in today. It's a joke. And if you have to live under that system, you're fucking struggling because your income is not keeping up with the cost of living and inflation. That's the problem. Anyways, dude's channel will be linked in the description below if you want to watch the rest of this woke shit. And appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one, boys. Take care of yourselves.